What up, y'all? Welcome to the Binge Eater Podcast. It's your boy, the South Bouse. I'm here with Big Lynch and Donny Duckets on the ones and twos.
1, 2.
You know what content I've been consuming? And the content I've been consuming is kind of like actually like
grunting. I watched like 10-hour man grunting compilation on YouTube.
I could actually see that being inspiring in some context. In some context.
Okay. You're just saying that because it's leg day. Okay, continue.
And I feel like this whole vibe is a spin-off of the Manosphere to an extent. Not all of it's bad, right? We did say that not all of the Manosphere is bad, even though it has kind of like a bad connotation to it.
No,
there is some good takeaways.
Yep. I don't know.
You got to take the bad.
Pretty much all bad, though. Like when we say it's not all bad, it's like, yeah, there is, you know.
No, half bad.
Of it.
I'd say half.
Not all bad. I don't think it's all bad.
Y'all.
Yeah, I agree with more like half.
We just know just the bad stuff gets the most attention.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Well, taking in the good with the bad, I been watching a whole bunch of videos of the Tren twins and Lynch. We've been messaging back and forth about these two, and like that's to me, that's like taking the good in with the bad. Like this is a good thing. Don't do Tren though. But this is a good thing. Like you got these guys, honestly, Donny, pretty close. They're like in their gym, like grunting, just like saying crazy to the camera.
Yeah.
Just existing. And only in this day and age could like these guys exist, the Tren twins, where they're pinning themselves, no doubt, a whole bunch, and then like being in this gym that's like all painted black, grunting and lifting, saying crazy to the camera, and they just exist. They do this so they could exist. And it's crazy, but in the same way that like gaming streamers exist in this day and age, where you're like, that's very strange because this guy plays
something
video
that didn't
games.
exist. Yeah.
This guy plays Fortnite and gets paid $100,000 a month to play Fortnite for 15 hours a day, juiced up. These guys are in the gym, juiced up, to be juiced up, to exist as large human beings, and they're not hurting anyone.
Except their own
maybe
livers.
Themselves. And I'm always like, listen, like that's fine. Don't do that though. You shouldn't do that. But since they're doing it, let me admire it a little bit. These like
it's like
guys.
It's too perfect a name for a channel.
What do you know? What do you know about the Tren twins, Lynch? What kind of exposure have you had?
I've had quite a bit of exposure because I follow fitness content and they've just been popping up. It's recent though. Like only the last couple weeks have they come into my sort of.
Yeah, I looked. They celebrated like a 50,000 subscriber mark 2 months ago, and I saw that they're like at 356,000 subscribers now. So 300,000 in 2 months. That's about when I got exposed to them. And I'll be honest with you, I saw like the Tren twins, and I was like, okay.
I've heard the name.
We'll be honest with you.
I'm not clicking on that.
But I don't know if you know, Donny. Lynch and I have this thing about twins. Like, we think twins are so trippy and hilarious. And these guys are not those kind of twins that we like. We like the twins that like finish each other's sentences and like wear the same shirt or like different variations of an outfit.
This is very like Dwight Schrute of you.
Me and Lynch, our whole lives, like we go somewhere, we see twins, we're like, oh my God, we got to take these two in.
Let's get it.
And they're doing things like we finish each other's sentences, and they got this whole thing, and they try. You know what I'm talking about? It's really
It's like one of them wears green shoelaces and one of them wears blue shoelaces, so you can tell them apart, kind of thing.
If you're decently good looking twins, like identical twins, it's like you're automatically
there's a multiplier.
You can be famous on the internet if you do.
It's a buff. It is a buff. It's absolutely a buff.
Such a thing. It's so interesting.
I was gonna say there's like, and I've actually discussed, I was telling my girlfriend about this the other day, that when there's hot twins, that there's literally a multiplier applied. So it's like if you're a 7 on 10, but you have an identical twin, you're a 9 on 10.
The sum is greater than the parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a very intense multiplier.
It's a very.
I've definitely seen fitness twins before, I believe, but you don't get fitness twins being like the Tren twins, and that's hilarious to me.
It's just such a great.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm happy.
I laughed.
I'm happy.
Isn't this
instant follow?
Isn't this like
instantly.
illegal?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Right. No, so
But,
like,
like,
I'm just saying.
But what are you, a fucking cop, bro?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Like,
saying that.
what are
Like,
you, fucking
you know how
narc
you know how
over
the
here,
you know how
bro?
the FBI kind of
let the
formed a
boys-
police force to bust rappers, and they would like investigate the shit these guys were rapping about, and be
Bro,
like, this is counts as a
No.
confession.
Let the Tren twins pin themselves in the staircase. It's not bothering anyone. They're not going to FBI raid these guys because their YouTube channel is called the Tren twins. Like, they're not getting a warrant for that.
We'll see.
They could say whatever they want. Bro, if you
I think
snitch
it's
on the
called-
Tren twins, actually, I'm going to be furious with you if you snitch on the Tren
Yo,
twins.
I'm already in
They're
witness
popping off right
protection.
now. Yeah.
I'm already in witness protection with this fucking window I'm in here.
Skinny neck Donny. I've followed the fitness YouTube eras for a long time. We're talking over 10 years. And it always amazes me now just how open the discussion of drugs really is at this exact moment in time. And then I reflect about myself at that age. Like, they're all young guys. These guys are like in their early 20s, like, a few years out of high school. Like, at that point in my life, when I was like 18, 19, like, the gym was all I really gave a fuck about at that exact moment in time. And I just imagine, like,
You were a scary dude then.
I never took juice, but imagine if it was like this era now, and that was,
Yeah.
I always
No,
think,
you
I always
would
wonder,
be
like,
on
what
it.
have I done it? What have I taken that next step?
I
And,
would
like,
love to see you on Tren on your TikTok if that exists.
like,
I
that's,
would love to see that alternate timeline. where
Right?
you
How
are
funny would
on
that be?
Tren on
Because like
TikTok.
I was about like I would spend 3 hours a day or more in the gym working out. I would think about I'd be eating protein all.
Or you were
the time,
16
like-
and bigger than every grown man I knew.
yeah, it was ridiculous.
You were
So-
literally 16 and you knew how to work out. Your mom was like just connected you with the right people. You were in at
Yeah.
the gym and you
Yeah.
were hooked up. And back then that knowledge was very rare and valuable. And you had the consistency. Like, you were a built 16-year-old. It was
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
I was reading Men's Health, trying to figure out from like those panel posters where it's like position 1, position 2.
Mm.
You don't even have a video of it. You literally have like.
but
a
isn't
fucking
it
comic
weird
strip.
now how out in the open all of it is? Like, they're having discussions.
I like that better.
I agree.
I think
It's
that's much better. I think people like RIP, there have been people who have documented their experience online
Mhm.
and they've died. And I
See-
think like people being honest out there, it lets you realize, like, I mean, one, you're not going to go to the gym and have unrealistic expectations. You will know that people are paying a price. You will be aware that that ideal body is actually someone taking it to the next level with PEDs or something like that.
Ideal. What's ideal? Definitely
exactly,
not
but if
working
you-
out and taking drugs till you're dead. That's not the ideal
no,
body.
I
No,
think
it's
the one-
not.
the
But
one-
if you go to the gym and you see a guy who has like an 8-pack and like you are knowledge in this space because there are people who are honest out there, you'll have an understanding and be like, that guy's probably on roids. And you'll know that. And then you won't like be discouraged yourself because you're not paying that price where you might drop dead later. But
but-
having said that, don't do Tren. Don't do stuff like that. But
Yeah.
since they're doing it, since the twins are doing it, I fucking love it. Those are like in their little space, in their playground, and they're like just lifting and grunting and saying shit and existing. And I'm like, these are just big boys, and they're just existing now as like muscular dudes. That's their mission.
They're ripping friends.
Do you, but like, see, I want to say one thing. All
So say it.
responsible. You shouldn't be thinking about doing that kind of stuff until you're way deeper later in age. Like, you're not even close to developed. You're way too young when you're like 18, 19, 20. Like, people jump on it. It seems like young kids are getting bigger a lot faster now. And it seems like the drug culture
yeah.
maybe permeated.
It's kind of fucked up too. Your testosterone
It
is
is
so
fucked up.
high at that age, and then you do
Yeah.
that on top of it, you're probably gonna fuck up your ability to produce anything afterwards.
You're on steroids at that age, practically.
Yeah.
Like, you're on steroids. When you do it, what you'll be doing is you'll be changing whatever you were gonna be, you change it, and not in a positive way in the long run.
Yeah.
You will be changing in the long run who you are supposed to be in one way or another. These are like major altering effects. However, you do get to look like you're on your way to being Cable from the
Yeah.
X-Men, and I think that
Yeah.
I think
you
that
get,
stuff
you
is
get
sick.
to be Sabretooth.
You also like
I love
infinite workout power, which is the best.
But this like alters you, bro. Like this, like
Mhm.
doing like Tren, like everything I know about Tren from watching.
Okay, but are they
fitness
doing
YouTube and
Tren,
stuff.
or are they just using the name conveniently? Because I figured I thought we could call ourselves the cocaine cousins, but I'm not doing coke. Like, I don't do cocaine. That's not.
Why
what
not?
I do.
Let's just do it then. Let's be about it. We can't be fake. No, the
Why
Tren
not?
twins, they're pretty big. They gotta be on Tren, and they're like,
You don't have to
I
be
mean,
on Trend to be big. You can just take. Like
it's so funny
Yes,
the
you
reverse
do.
now. It's
No.
so funny the reverse now, being like, you lied. You said you were on Tren and you're not. You're natty.
Yeah,
Ew.
exactly.
It's like the reverse of it. You're like,
Yeah.
this guy's natty.
guess
No,
you could be
they're
the
really
testosterone
thick.
twins.
It's the reverse Liver King.
Listen, I'll tell you from what I heard about Tren and what it does to your brain and how it fucks you up. Like, God knew better than to make me a Tren twin with myself. I'd be fucking sucking my own dick, we'd be fucking each other, we'd be lifting weights, always
Yeah.
nutting. I'd be sucking. You know, if I had a Tren twin, you don't think we'd be in a fucking sexual Tren rage and fucking lift and
Yeah,
fucking
you walking
suck each other's
walking
dicks?
upstairs to fucking
Come on,
destroy Donny. You know.
tell me you agree.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I would blow my twin brother.
'Cause you're not on Tren though. That's the problem. Talking about all this crazy stuff today.
Mm.
Wearing a jersey of a team not playing a sporting event. What do you mean by that, Lynch?
You
Like
know,
just
it was-
walking around like you're just walking around in a Chicago
One of my
Blackhawks
biggest
jersey
pet
kind of
peeves.
thing.
No, I got caught up in this. I was at the gas station the other day, and
What
The
they
other
do?
day.
well, actually during the Super Bowl, I was at the gas station, and some dude walked out of his car. He's like next to me at the pump, and he's just wearing like a Chargers jersey.
Yeah, he's just like football today.
He's like, you know, it's this mentality that people have. It's you see when you go to live sporting events, people are wearing the jersey. Like wearing a jersey as a grown man is like, you know, that we can save that debate for another day. But just because
can
you're going,
we though? I'd love to talk about it.
But
'cause
going
I have
to
a
a
lot to say.
going to a sporting event and say, I'm going to a sporting event, I'm just going to wear whatever sports jersey I have.
Yeah.
That's like that. That thinking is so fucking psychotic to me. I don't I actually don't comprehend. I can't.
It's a tough
understand
look.
Why?
Let's talk
tough
about
look.
this. Let's talk about this because I think this is great. Because I know so little about sports, and I've
Okay.
always been someone that's like never knew the players' names and shit for the most
Sure.
part or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so the unwritten rules of being a sports fan or something like that are interesting to me. So you're saying if like the Montreal Canadiens were playing the Boston Bruins,
Sure.
if I showed up in an Ottawa Senators jersey, I'm wrong right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like
It's like you're like, I'm gonna wear my hockey uniform to go to the hockey show.
some people do
But
cross
yeah.
sports even. Some people
That's a
rock a
great-
basketball jersey. They're like, oh, I'm at the hockey game. I'm going. Like,
You
people-
can't go to any game wearing a Lakers jersey unless the Lakers are there.
You can, but you just
You
look
can,
like
but
you're
what- what's the
nasty,
logic?
Lynch?
What's the logic? What's the logic to show up to a game where
Just
you're not wearing a
basketball
jersey?
vibes are strong right now. So I love my
Okay,
my favorite basketball vibes.
It's literally different to like sports. That's sports. That's the thinking. Like that's all that's going on in their brain. Do you think it's normal for people to wear a jersey, like just because they're going to a sporting event, they just put on any randoms? Like,
I mean, look, a sporting event, it definitely I'm not like a sporting event has it definitely hits way different. If you're at the event and you're wearing the jersey, I'm not like, look at this trash bag.
no, I'm.
But like if
saying-
I'm at Walmart and you're wearing a jersey, like you look like trash.
We're at Walmart. Shut up.
Exactly.
no, I stopped wearing jerseys once my cousin stole my jersey and then lost
I
it. And
knew
was
that
so
was.
mad
I
about
knew
it.
you were gonna say that. I knew
I
you
had
were
a
gonna
sick
say that.
like Lamar Odom Clippers like
It
red
was.
jersey.
You look jacked
was-
in it too.
And
You look
yeah, it fit
huge.
perfectly. It was,
It was
like
a very big
perfect fitting
statement
jersey.
piece.
It was, yeah.
It
And
was
he
a big
just took it
statement
one night
piece.
when I
How do
wasn't
you
around
lose
to
a
go out.
jersey?
He lent it out, and they
He just like took my
never-
jersey and like lent it
to
someone.
borrow it, and then he lost
Borrow.
track of it. Or
Yeah.
That's
AKA someone liked the jersey. Like that was at the age where someone's like, oh, I like this. I'm just gonna take it. It's mine. now.
I hate that so much.
Hmm.
I'm not about this.
I just don't like lend my clothes to people. It's not something I do.
You know, I think it's interesting if two boxers were boxing. You
One
could
drop.
show up with the Mike Tyson T-shirt. Would that be weird?
No,
It's a little on the nose.
No. You're not really like addressing my point. And this is the most egregious part about it is wearing a sports jersey when neither
Yeah.
team It's the
Oh, I'm
jersey
telling,
wearing
but I'm agreeing with you so much that I'm saying it doesn't even take that level of ridiculousness for me to be like, why are you wearing that? I'm saying no matter what, I see that and I'm like, why are you wearing that? The fact that he's
Okay.
wearing it when there are other teams playing, it's like
You wouldn't
already-
double take that, Harley? You wouldn't double take that if you were at a Habs game and some guy's wearing
A Leafs
Lakers jersey, or he's wearing
Yeah.
My first example that I gave where I said if you're the Habs are playing the Bruins and someone's there in an Ottawa Senators jersey, like I would not think a single thing. The only thing, if I had to scrutinize it and someone knocked me, they're like, what do you think about that? On the spot, I'd probably be like, it's a Senators jersey. I feel like that thing costs like over $120 and probably means a lot to them. And maybe they don't have many hockey clothes. And so they're supporting hockey in general. And they're just, this is all they got. And they're happy to see a game, but they're not going to represent a team that's not their team. This is who they are. They, you know, I wouldn't be like, this guy brought the wrong jersey.
now if you're a kid, like if you're an actual kid, you do whatever you want. To me,
No, I was
sporting
picturing
event,
Monty. I was
having a
picturing
good
Monty.
time, yeah.
I'm picturing Pat.
This has been bothering me for like I've been carrying this burden of thinking about this for like 20 years. That's how much it bothers me. I hate it. It pisses me off so much because I always
That's
all I wanna
granted.
do,
I think that's a
I want
valid
to walk
peeve.
up and say, "Excuse me, why are you wearing this jersey? What was your decision process? I just want to understand where you're coming from with this. Like, why? Because it's sports. You're going to a sporting event. It's like time to wear the sports. Like, what's up?
If you walked up to a guy and you're like, sorry, what are you doing? The Chargers jersey. It's the Eagles and Chiefs tonight. What are you doing? And if he was like, fuck off, pal. That's a headshot. You're like done. You got to eat that. Like you got no answers.
He's
Like,
such a big
really,
fan, but
the
he's
thing about-
at the
The gas station during the game. The thing about
Yeah.
the football, about a
No,
football
it wasn't
jersey
during the
is
game. He was going somewhere to watch the game.
football jersey is a high level of comfort in terms of all jerseys. That's one of the only jerseys you can go straight to nipples.
yeah.
Like you don't really get to be nipples on like some of these basketball
a
jerseys.
baseball.
Definitely not on a hockey jersey.
No.
Yeah, but a football jersey, some of those boys are silky.
I
You get
wanna
like
put- I've
that
had-
like 90s Barry Sanders jersey. You could wear
I
that
think
any
in terms
day
of
of the
the
week.
look it gives, a baseball jersey is the nicest. It's got the buttons. It's like it's the nicest jersey.
I've had many jerseys in my life. I had a Woodson jersey, a Raiders Woodson jersey. I had a Sean Merriman.
So why you
jersey,
gatekeeping
powder
jerseys
baby
as a
blue.
jersey lover? Why you out here gatekeeping jerseys
I had
like
a
that?
Larry,
He-
I had a Larry Bird jersey. I
That's
had-
why he had a
Pierce
lot of
jersey.
jerseys because
No.
it depends on who was playing. He had to have a jersey for every different fucking game he watched.
I had a I had like a.
You can go to wrestling. You can go to a wrestling event, and you can wear a dead wrestler's shirt, even. Well, some
Yeah,
would
but
be
that's-
a really
different.
interesting choice to actually that you shouldn't.
What if you wore a different company's shirt?
That happens. In fact, at one point in WWE, they were pointing the camera away from certain parts of the audience because there was a particular shirt that was really popular that was not a WWE IP.
I hated that so much when I was a kid. I remember like just wanting everything to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, oh wow, there's this sick fighter, but I'm not gonna watch WCW. I also find that, I mean, I guess that's nothing new, but things were polarized back in the day. It's like I wasn't in a position to say I like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. You had to fucking choose. You had to choose a team.
Not me.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
that
I
fucking
didn't have to.
double
I had my
pantry
Sega-
Harley. Yeah, he had
I know,
been, like-
but that's like you're unique in that way that you've had every console, at least for a little bit.
Well, no, but the Sega and Super Nintendo, I didn't. But I loved my Sega. It's just I was the only Sega owner, and my 5 friends and cousin had a Super Nintendo.
Me too. I was the
So
only
people
Sega
wanted
also.
to trade their Super Nintendos at certain weekends with me. And
'Cause
I
they
was the
wanted
only
blood
one
in
that
Mortal
had that
Kombat.
bargaining chip. So having the Mortal Kombat Blood Code or Vector Man or Comic Zone or the things that were only on Sega,
Echo the Dolphin.
I was the guy. You want to fucking get down with Golden Axe, bitch? Give me your fucking Super Nintendo with Jurassic Park and Power Rangers right now.
Come outside.
Give me the fucking multi-tap with fucking Bomberman, pussy. Give me the fucking multi-tap with Bomberman, pussy.
Debbie was actually gassing me up the other day about my video game skills. You
What
know?
was she saying? She was like, my son was so good at video games.
People couldn't believe how good you were with the buttons with the Nintendo at such a young age.
Blech,
was like,
the
okay.
buttons.
Like how you could.
Are you
move
like,
things
what are you
around.
talking about? You weren't like, Harley's always been a better gamer my entire life?
No,
Say that?
no,
You
she
didn't
was
bring
like-
me up there? You didn't bring me up? You weren't like, Harley's better?
No, I just knew that if I actually played video games, I'd be way better than you.
Yeah, eh? Who, you think
do
you'd be
it.
better than John Pickle? Yeah, right.
You wouldn't be better than him more than I'll be better than you at golf.
Bro, I'll be better than you at fucking walking and taking a boat to a place and staying there for the night.
Not even-
Give me
Walking.
1 year. Give me 1 year. I'll be able to plan a 5-day boat trip better than you.
I would
Well,
love to
let's do
take
it.
Donnie up on this bet, right? On this,
Bro, I
idea
tried to
that in
bring
a
Don
year-
Lynch. We tried to bring Donnie to Everest. This guy was shook.
Shook. You guys had no fucking idea what you were talking about. I was asking
we actually
about
had
Stacy.
the main guy you'd want to go to Everest with.
Right.
Who?
But I
Tell
wasn't
them who.
getting I had a
Tell them
beer
who.
I was like yo, so tell me this. And they were like, this is show business, baby. I was like, cool.
That's
go.
not what we said.
Yeah, you did.
Maybe
That's
Amir
not-
said that. He were talking
you said-
to Amir also. So maybe Amir was like,
You're
that's
talking
show
to
business.
Amir? Okay, yeah.
Amir was there.
Amir was going to Everest also.
Amir was there. I was down, but I wanted to be sure that you guys like knew what we were getting into. This
Yeah,
was
we're climbing
also
a mountain, bro. We know what we're doing.
this was
we're
also
having-
January 2020, and like there was the COVID rumblings. and
Not
we were
yet.
Like, what
not
about
yet.
that
No,
virus?
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Yes,
No.
I remember because I
Everest
was
might
in
go down as
Toronto.
one of our the. I wish we did that trip. That
It is the biggest fuck up with COVID was that
Yeah,
we would have climbed Everest. I probably wouldn't have got fat because I had to climb Everest.
Yeah,
And my boxing would just be in a whole new scenario.
Mm.
or it might never have happened.
What are you
Yeah.
saying? You wouldn't have made it.
No,
I don't
I'm just
need to
saying
like
that-
climb Everest and
I'm
fight
saying
someone.
if COVID never happened, then what the fuck's his name? How
Idubbbz.
rude of me. Idubbbz might have never became a
Wow.
boxer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could have done that trip. And then his whole Netflix series came out. I was like, fuck, we could have been with that guy. Kidding me?
Yeah, who's the guy? What's his name again, Donnie?
It's is it like 14 Peaks? What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, you do. It's the guy.
No, I know. If you tell me, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the sickest Sherpa guy. But I don't have these like names in my
Bro,
head.
that's so weird. Like climbing mountains and shit and walking through trails is your hobby, one of your main hobbies. You're not gonna know that like
I'm
the
not-
champions
I'm
of
not,
the fucking, in the space.
I'm not into climbing.
Bro, I
I'm
go to
into-
the gym and like bench press just so that my chest looks better when I'm beaten off in the mirror. But best
How does
believe
this,
I
how does this relate to?
because
He
I
knows
know
all the
I know the
top 10
champions.
guys.
I know the
Yeah.
champions in the space. I know about the Tren twins.
Yeah.
Bro, I know about like people that do the things. I know
Exactly.
about
That's your
it.
problem. Is that you're looking out, bro. You should look in.
I saw everything in already. I've literally
No,
read
no,
it
no,
back
no.
to
I don't
back
think
twice.
you're done.
You're not
I don't
done
think
reading
you're
in
done
yet?
growing.
How long do you need to look inwards, bro? How old are you?
Every day,
37 years old. This guy's still looking inwards. You don't think I know?
bro.
I
You
was
gotta go deeper.
done. I was done looking inwards at 32 years old. Last 5 years, been reading everything else. I've consumed so much.
I have noticed you've been on this new wave of like you're a Huberman stan
Toxic male. Well,
now? No, you're a Huberman
Oh,
stan now?
opposite of toxic male.
Right.
Yeah.
Who do you think gave him a Huberman?
You didn't though. That's the funny part. You didn't,
No,
and I
it
was
is-
mad at you about that.
Okay.
I was mad about. You know, that's what's funny about Huberman is he came on my recommended feed once. He was
Okay.
playing after
I
was-
did, I did that, by the way, because we were
No,
sharing
it
our
was a weird
recommended feed.
connection. I was watching like
No,
some
you're-
Jordan Peterson like mocking type videos, which led into just a legit Jordan Peterson video, which led into like an interview with Jordan Peterson, and then an interview with, and it just led to Huberman, the channel, and then you were talking with,
Group chat.
yes, group chat, and you had mentioned him, and I was like, oh, you guys get down with this guy? Because he
Oh,
came-
I do remember that.
yeah,
remember
and I
that
was like, he's
conversation
been on
now.
my
Yeah.
recommended feed, and I started watching him.
Yes.
And when he was
yes,
on
yes.
TV, I thought I didn't know who he was. I thought it was like red pill content, and I was letting it go on. So my brain was not adjusted to what it was, and he was just kind of existing, talking.
You're like, wait, you're like, when does the misogyny come?
I literally didn't like the way he looked. I was like, he looks too much like me or you, or like someone that we would have birthed together. And I didn't want to. It was like looking in a mirror too. I was like, this guy's ugly,
do you
bro.
mean me or
I was like, this
Donny?
guy's ugly. He looks like me in a weird way, you know, or he looks like
Do you
like
mean me
Donny.
or Donny.
Yeah,
Donny, yeah. I was like, he looks like
more
Donny. In a weird way.
Ashkenaz look.
Yeah, and then he started talking about something that was just, I forget. It was just so on point with what I needed to hear in the moment. And then you were talking, and then I'll give you credit when I heard you were talking about him. I was like, that fellow recommended to me was far more legit than I suspected, because intellects in the group chat are conversing about him. So I'm going to give him more of a chance the next time he pops up. And now I fucking take cold showers every single day for the last 2 months. And it's great.
So you're loving that. You like that show.
But no, I think he's awesome. I think that's like the reason why I'm a stan of him, and is because I think he's just a good role model. It's just like there's nothing political about this information. It's just good shit. Like here, you want
just
some
well
good shit?
researched.
Yeah, exactly. You just want some good shit.
And well delivered. He's like a beast. Like he's so good at speaking and giving you the info.
So
I forget which city I was in, but he was coming to talk at the university, and I was like, I gotta sneak into this somehow or whatever. But then I found that it was online. Like
So
in
in Florida, I think.
Maybe.
So I don't consume. I've definitely come across him, watched a few videos here and there. There's so many. His stuff gets clipped up like crazy, everywhere, all over the internet. I feel like I've watched probably some of the same videos, but I find myself sometimes watching, not necessarily him, but like watching videos and like someone saying something with such authority, and then I stop and I go, "Who the fuck is this person?
Yeah,
why is this person like? Why am I listening to this person? Like, who the fuck are they?"
I got faster at that. Exactly what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I'm fast with it now. I'll be on TikTok and someone's like, yo, listen, right away. I'm like, shut the fuck up, TikTok. You're going to tell me how to live my life? You're 24 and an idiot. And you don't even live here. But go on. Continue.
No, that's it. It really is like the.
It took me a while. I used to be like slower at it on the back end. I'd be like, wait. I for a minute I listened to this person describe something that was not it in the worst way, and I'm faster with it now because I love, or I'll be streaming it on Twitch and like I'll be watching TikTok and someone will be like, listen up guys, and I'll be like, oh, listen up Chad, TikTok's gonna teach us something right now. TikTok has something to say.
It's like even pre-TikTok I've always hated this. My ex-girlfriend used to watch a lot of kind of MTV reality shows, where it's a bunch of fucking drunk 20-somethings matched up in some house, and there would always be some earnest moment, and the guy would like pull her aside and be like, listen, and I'm like, here we go, here's the fucking wisdom of a 22-year-old drunk fucking kid from Miami, like let's hear it.
There's got to be one listening right now that just hit him so hard.
Yeah, I mean, you're a great person, I just don't want life lessons from you.
One of my guilty pleasures is
yet.
watching people review. I was just watching one the other day. People talk about like these 19-year-old gurus, guys, people be like on TikTok or like selling fucking financial advice. And
they're 19 years old. They're like how to fix your career.
Yeah. They're like, here's some advice for you. And it's like, what the fuck is going on, man? This is the problem with the internet. You can't always discern what's not everyone can discern what's a true thing or not a true thing, or what you should be listening to or not listening to.
Listen to me. Listen to us, bro.
Well,
listen to the Tren twins.
Being like a 1985 kid, I do find that when I speak to people, when I meet people that are younger, they are a lot more well-informed than we were at their age, which is just, it's an obvious fucking consequence.
Yeah, bro, we were racist and homophobic.
But I do meet like smart fucking kids that are kind of already putting themselves on a trajectory, and I'm like, wow, like, well, I did not think like that. We didn't think like that.
Okay, but but now, like, you can, the crazy thing about now is that you can be in high school, and there's a way to make money with like no startup money required now. Like you can start
With
your
your-
own thing.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing to me, and
Dude,
I always wonder.
I'm speaking of that, like being at such a fucking delinquent that I was as a child. I wonder how I would fare with this like camera culture. It's kind of a boomer thing to say, but like, oh, we didn't have cameras.
I would
when
have
we were
been. I
growing
would
up.
have been the catalyst of it.
Yeah,
Like
Part of
Yeah.
it
back in the
filming
day,
everyone. Yeah.
me, Donny, a couple of other friends, we like formed like a mini gang to ourselves, and we had like a little tag that we would draw on things. And I made a website for that in 1998, like an Angel Fire website. And I just remember showing
like a
it to the
flash
other-
site.
Yeah, I remember showing it to the other guys less than Flash, like just like really trash, but it was
Yeah.
there and had silly things and explanations of words that we used, like a little dictionary. And and I think about like the effort put into that. It was an ugly ass website. I would have had an ugly ass TikTok account of us. That's for sure. We would have been banned. We would have done something.
Oh, yeah.
Their balls
Oh my
would have
God.
been on. It would have been it. And then you're like,
Dude.
we were like 14 with like our balls. And it's like TikTok though, so it's like out there.
It's not that- it's
created
also
CP, like it's an
Yeah.
issue.
It's also just vandalism. I feel like I was pretty big on as like a skateboarding
That
cigarette
halfway
smoking
flies now, though.
badass.
That halfway flies these days.
People are self-snitching all over the internet constantly.
Yeah. You see a lot of
Nonstop.
videos.
Like people.
You see that? This
the
is
Tren twins.
No, but there's a dude that's
I think we gotta get the Tren twins on, or go like fly down and do a workout with them or something. Like this.
There's
is
not
like
enough
a-
screen space on our overlay for both Tren twins to be in
That's
there.
true. You're right,
Bro, let's
Maybe
go
we should
work out
shoot
with
like
them
a
till we
workout
puke.
video. Let's go hit a workout video and make.
That'd be
them,
sick. Actually, I think that's sick.
That could be an epic meal. It's like we work out with them and then we puke and then we make like the puke omelet like Steve-O.
just
No,
wanna
I think
be
some
in
of our
there
most
in their
banger
blacked out
videos-
gym.
Some of our most banger videos are, and we haven't done enough of them, is like gym style content food, where we made like a huge protein bar. It's just like feed into the whole gym bro culture, you know, and just make
Yo, you know what we
stupid
should do?
fucking protein.
No, because you
concoctions.
keep going with protein. Let's get fucked up. Let's make like a pre-workout epic meal.
Yeah.
Let's
I thought you were
make
gonna
like
say like a Tren cheesecake.
no. I'm talking like
Well, I did want to make the
a
Tren bologna
pre-workout
sandwich. Remember that Tren bologna sandwich?
Tren bologna.
I had that idea, but it just didn't really.
bologna
We
sandwich.
couldn't really execute on it, but I was really pushing it in the group chat for an epic meal.
We should make like a pre-workout borscht or something.
Ugh.
Amir.
Oh god.
Borscht once. I'll never forget.
Do that.
Speaking of
Oh,
epic
it's so.
meals, by the
I think
way.
we told this story. Didn't he
Oh,
stink
yeah.
up the house with the
Yeah,
onions?
he loved his onions. Speaking of epic meals and stuff, we are big fans of the food collabos sometimes when they line up. But in the UK, they got these Burger King flame grilled Whopper Doritos, and I'm so fucking down with that. Like, what's interesting about Burger King is I don't like Burger King and I don't go to Burger King. However, if I'm in the USA, I find Burger King to be a better choice than McDonald's, actually. I
Kind
don't
of
think
like
the
Wendy's
McDonald's
is better in Canada than the US, I think.
I tell people Wendy's in Canada is one of the best fast foods out there,
Yeah.
period. Wendy's
Yeah.
in Canada is one of the best fast foods. I've said it before. I'll say it again here. But in the UK, they got this flame grilled Whopper Doritos, which sounds good. And it comes with a free Whopper meal coupon.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
like a dope inclusion there. But I'll say
that like
this
makes
about
your
this.
summer when you're like 15, something like that.
Just one free, or just like getting free burgers.
That
every
that
week.
exists. That you're like, well, you have to buy a meal, but
That's
still
the
it
thing.
works.
When we were young, I remember getting excited about like Doritos flavors and shit, but things were a little bit simpler now. I find that now they make a lot of wild swings in what these flavors are supposed to be. And every time I try one of these chips that has like some bold claim about what the flavor is, I'm like, oh, okay, so just sort of like a different little combination of salt and heat kind. Like, I'm never like, oh, like how Jelly Bellies are fucking spot on. You eat a Jelly Belly and you're like, whoa, it's scary how they captured that. I know you can't convey that on a chip the same way, but I eat
Yeah, you
most
can.
of these wacky flavored chips, and
Come on.
I'm like not even close.
But if you get the right chip, like if you get like a kettle cooked bad boy, like a Miss Vicky's, those flavors
Right.
hit. I remember when lime
Those
and black
flavors hit, but I
pepper,
don't know if
lime
they
and black
match.
pepper, lime and black
But
pepper
that's a
came on the
ti-
scene.
that's
That
not-
fucking popped off. That's a flavor
for sure. But those are humble claims. Lime and black pepper, I have no doubt you could pull that off. But when they're like ranch flavored chicken wing pizza tits, I'm like, there's no way
You
you're
say
going to capture
chicken wing.
that.
Chicken wing does get captured pretty well, but I know what you're saying because the one that they always fuck up is every time I see pizza flavor, I'm like, no shot,
Yeah,
not once.
because pizza, but
Not
it's kind of like grape.
once.
But pizza
I
means
get
something
pizza, I get
different
pizza
in chips.
flavored.
Pizza flavored combos.
I've had those. No, I get the pizza
But no,
flavored
pizza Beasleys. Remember those fucking
Pringles.
Pizza Pringles are. That's like you get that because like barbecue wasn't there.
Okay, this is the most
You didn't
important
want
question.
pizza
Exactly.
first.
The more
But-
important
but-
question is: do you eat ketchup chips?
Yes, and I love them.
Yes, yeah,
They're
they're good.
amazing.
Well, Donnie, come on, we know you like ketchup chips.
Yeah,
Wait,
I know you
Ruffles?
know.
Have you tried the Ruffles double crunchy ketchup chips?
Oh God.
The amount of ketchup or triple crunch, it's like these Ruffles that are fucking glass.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's
yeah.
so much ketchup powder
Yeah,
on
yeah,
them.
and
Like
it-
they're
it
meant,
tears
they're
up your
meant to,
palate.
This is a
cut-
Canadian
It's meant
thing,
to
by the
cut
way.
up your mouth, and then like crop dust it with like burning
Yeah,
spices.
insert burning ketchup powder.
Yeah,
So it's a Canadian. It's a Canadian thing, the ketchup chip. I don't think they. Really
yeah,
have
but
that
no,
in
some
the US.
places have been they smartened up to it. I think a couple places.
What about
picked up on
pickle
it.
chips? Do
Some,
they have pickle
some people
chips
are
in
very
the
mad
US?
about it. But dill pickle, yeah, dill pickle chips.
Yeah, I mess with dill pickle. I like dill pickle. I do think that you like when I see a flame grilled Whopper chip, I do imagine they're doing a move like taking a ketchup and a dill pickle and mixing it together. And I do know that ketchup was a limited Dorito or still exists. And I do know that dill pickle was a Dorito or still is. So I would imagine that they're literally
That those
fucking-
powders are mixed in.
the ones that fall on the floor, they're scooping that into a Burger King Doritos
But
bag.
it's
like,
funny
hey,
how
the Whopper.
pizza is a different flavor in chips. The kind of like the way we all agree on like grape.
Watermelon, grape, yeah.
Or grape, yeah, grape. That just doesn't taste like grapes, but we're like, no, but you know, like purple and like
Yeah.
just kind of tastes grape.
maybe just seeing the color just tricks your taste a little bit because you're seeing the color and you're like, oh,
That's why
too
G-
that's the
complex,
color
though.
thing
Yeah.
I want. Huh?
That's
Yeah.
why G Fuel is trippy because it's clear and you pour that shit out of a can into a glass and it's
This
like
G Fuel blueberry muffin was always such a trippy one.
it
'cause
looks like
it's-
sparkling water when you pour it.
and it tastes exactly like essence of blueberry muffin. Yo, I went to the Asian mall. No, I went to the Asian
To get
grocery
some pants
store. I went to the
and
Asian
some waffle
grocery store.
fries.
They had this it was a chip. It was a chip. It was salmon skin covered in salted egg.
Oh.
And it was outlandish sounding, but delicious in my mind. Because it had a claim on it, like a #1 snack, some award. And it was very Asian. And the idea of what it would smell like, the salmon skin, I was like, very close. But no, I'm not going to have this salmon skin covered in salted egg. And I kept going. And then I went to the next aisle where there was other bags and snacks. And there was the exact same company, the exact same looking bag with the same claim on it, except it was potato chip with salted egg. And I was like,
No thanks.
no, I was
It's
like,
like-
let's go. This is normal.
Oh, I was gonna say y'all
So-
are pulling some bait and switch shit. They're like,
Well, have
they're
you
both
had
salmon
salted egg
skin.
on anything like in a snack like that?
No, that's bizarre, but I'm into it.
Yeah, exactly how I felt. So when I got potato chip, I'm like, there's a decent stepping stone. I'll be able to properly scrutinize what's going on in my
Right.
mouth because I understand half of this now. I had it. It was so fucking good. It was so good. I can't wait to go back there and get that salmon skin, salted egg salmon skin one, as well as a couple bags of this chip. My fight's over, bro. Watch. I'm going to fucking blow up within 2 months. I can't wait. I'm going to have
Yo.
tits. I'm at
you're
pitch
gonna
by
have to fight.
40.
You're gonna have to fight again. You gotta prepare for your next fight.
You think so?
Yeah. So how many more fights? Let's talk about that. How let's.
I
let's
thought
get
one.
you to-
I thought 0 was the initial number.
Let's
and
lock
then-
you in.
Now
Let's
we're
get
at
you
2.
committed.
I mean, like, I don't want to fight again after this, but there is a number and a situation in my head that I could think of where I would do it. You know?
Yeah.
Probably keep it
Yeah.
tight within like a couple months after this if I'm good to go. But
what's the
other than
protocol? Are you supposed to wait 6 months or
that, it all
how
depends
does that work?
what happens.
If you get concussed or knocked out, you have to.
You get
wait.
knocked.
There's a period of
Yeah,
time.
there's a whole
You
thing.
can't
There's
fight.
a whole protocol.
Yeah, there's rules.
Plus, if that happened to me, I would never box again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm shocked you're doing it again.
Although now that I just said that, there is a number in a situation where I would for sure.
Yeah. You're going to end up
I want to make it very clear to the audience that I am not here ever convincing Harley to go box for any reason.
It was very nuanced.
yeah,
subtle,
but you do
cryptic the
stand
way
to
he
gain the most,
did. He
Lynch.
did. He does. It was
Yeah.
It was very nuanced and cryptic the way he made it feel like it was my idea, like it was Inception. Like I dreamt it, but he did that.
Yeah. You think that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing? You think I have like some nefarious... I've been planting...
I think that you can make it so that legitimately on paper every decision made was Harley's, but they were in fact your
Influence.
incepted.
The true influence.
yeah, the BTS influencer. You're right.
People-
Maybe I was.
people-
Maybe I manifested.
You're pulling psyops, bro.
People
You're
are
pulling
always like,
fucking psyops.
people are always like, oh, what do you like about LA? Not the people. But sometimes I met like 6,000 people in Los Angeles. I liked 15, but the 15 I met, I really like. But when people ask about LA, I'm like, oh, there's a million things that I do like about it, or did like about it. And after living in Toronto, people would, in Montreal especially, be like, what do you like about Toronto? And I do have a long list of things that I like. Having
The
said
24-hour
that,
pharmacy.
the number one thing that I did like about LA or Toronto or being in a city like that is if there is a thing going down or a thing happening, LA will get it. And if LA gets it, like New York probably gets it. And if New York gets it, like Toronto probably gets it. Toronto's in that 3-city list of things that they get or things that are happening.
If something's going to happen in one place in Canada and only in one place, it'll probably be Toronto.
Not just that, if a thing is happening in the USA in like 2 places, it's for sure happening in Toronto also. There's a high
I went to
frequency of that.
speaking of January 2020, when we were talking about Everest, I came to see Hamilton
in
in
Toronto. That's what I'm talking about.
Hamilton.
They have
like-
Chick-fil-A.
If
Two
you
Chick-fil-A's.
Chick-fil-A, if you want to buy like a pizza at a vending machine, Toronto has those pizza vending machines. And
Do
it's
they have
always-
those dirty panty vending machines like in Japan?
No, but there's plenty of dirty panties.
That means if we put them up, we'll be the first.
That's true. I don't know if I want to do that though as a venture. But listen, so the thing is these things are never things that I need or really particularly want very badly, like a pizza vending machine, but I'm always, I enjoy it. I'm enamored by its
Isn't that a little
existence and
creepy? A pizza
availability.
vending machine? Like, you don't know if there's a fucking rat taking a nap on that slice in this machine.
That applies to every restaurant that you go to.
Yeah.
right,
Yes and
you're right.
no.
No,
like
it
when
does.
there's like a big fucking brick oven and they're pulling it out. I know there's no rat taking a nap on that.
You know there's no rat taking a nap on your pizza once you look at your pizza. If you're talking about the box,
I want to take a look at
about
the rat
box.
and see if there's cheese on his.
If you're talking about the
and then
back,
decide.
if you're talking about the box that it's in, then I'm sure the rat could sleep on a pizza box also in the middle of the night at a pizza place. Anyways, it's never important what's happening, but I do like that it exists. And KFC Canada introduces a winterized basketball court, and that happens in Toronto. That's like the type of thing that I didn't want or need or ask for.
Well,
but
ball
yeah.
is life.
Yeah, if ball is life to you, you're probably pretty happy about this. On specific days, they got KFC samples. The basketball court is pre-warmed. You got a rotation of DJs on Friday and Saturday nights, courtesy of Live Nation. There's heaters and refreshments, courtesy of Pepsi. Uber Eats discount codes. Fuck Uber Eats.
Most important
is
part
just-
of this whole thing, though,
Is the jersey?
is the jersey. This
the
is
jersey.
I wanted you to rate this merch because I know we've been talking like we
It's
wanted
a
those
10 on
Hot Pocket
10.
shorts.
It's a
Hot
puffy,
Pocket
guys.
shirt.
It's a puffy basketball jersey, but like it's built like a puffer kind of, but it's still a jersey. Like you're showing your young shoulders. It's
You
got
are.
KFC in the front with like a little like kangaroo pouch. In the back it says
It's pretty hype, man. Like I would wear
Buckets
that
Are
under like
Life
a
is
Gore-Tex
sick, dude.
shell. I'd wear that under a Gore-Tex shell hiking. Or
yeah.
skiing or
What's
something.
your Gorpcore? What was the term? Gorpcore.
Gorpcore?
What's your Gorpcore breakdown of this piece? Because it does look like it's functional, Donny.
It looks functional. It
not
looks like
Arc'teryx,
it's.
though.
It looks like it's well baffled. And that pocket has snaps. It
You're
looks
not
pretty
alone, and
fucking-
you're not in your group chat, bro. When you say something like "well baffled," you have to explain to everyone, me included.
I just mean like the stitches that go across that keep the insulation trapped in the pockets.
The
Each one of those
bubble
pockets is
parts
like
of the bubble?
A baffle.
On
How
the
do you?
streets,
How
we
do
call
you?
them bubbles.
I'm curious. How do you rate the brands in that meta? Like, what's your ranking? Because I have.
What do you mean? Like
Well,
outdoor
I
brands?
have like for me personally, I have Arc'teryx rain jacket and a fleece. I have my Patagonia fleece. I have North Face like running winter shoes that I wear. I kind of mix
you get
all of
whatever
them.
the kids got.
Well,
You
what
get
is
whatever
the
the
one-
kids got. You don't know
What
the
is
ugly.
the one, Donnie?
You don't know
in
the
your mind?
ugly companies that
Reign
Donnie's
supreme.
getting.
What reigns supreme, Donnie? I want to know.
Well, in
We
terms
gotta-
of what though? There's
You got to
different
get some
functional-
Fjallraven.
Yeah.
Lynch. You got to get some Fjallraven. You're sleeping on
Fjall,
that.
Fjallraven's my top brand in terms of the amount of shit I have from that company is a little bit stupid at this
This guy
point. I walk
spends big
around.
money on wax, bro. This guy goes and gets Fjallraven wax. Spends
Yeah, you gotta
big
keep
ducats
your-
on it. Donnie,
You gotta-
tell him how
you
I always
many
have to
ducats-
look at their
your-
bags.
You got to wax your G1000.
I agree with Lynch. I don't like the look of the bag.
Hey, I fucking hate
Okay,
their
but
bags.
this is kind of annoying about it is that everyone thinks that brand is just like for that one stupid little high school.
Well, they need
girl's
to hire a
backpack.
better fucking marketing person to make
They
this
have
shit happen for them.
they
'cause I
have
don't know.
like amazing backpacks, and they actually do like wood frames instead of aluminum because they're all about sustainable materials. It's really fucking interesting.
It's crazy that this
is that
backpack's probably
Patagonia?
50% of their
I thought
profits.
Patagonia was
Yes.
all about everything that was good.
Yeah, Patagonia is like hype, very hype company. Love Patagonia, love
10 on
Arc'teryx.
10.
Also,
We
they
did it.
definitely
We
make
all
the
love-
best.
Patagonia gets extra love. 'cause
Arc'teryx
they,
is very expensive though. Like my rain
Very
jacket is
expensive?
They all are.
$800
All of these are mad expensive.
No,
Patagonia-
Patagonia is like
Fjallraven's
somewhat
mad
reasonable.
expensive.
No,
Patagonia
is-
has reasonable stuff.
They do.
Arc'teryx, you
It's
are
very
paying a high premium. Honestly, I think that their Gore-Tex shells are the best.
That's what I
And
want.
other
That's what I
than
bought.
that, I don't need much. Their jackets, they have winter jackets and shit. They also have really good gloves. Like if you're into like crazy alpine skiing and shit like
I
that.
try to buy their shoe. I try to buy their shoes, but they're too narrow. I was going to buy a pair of shoes,
Yeah.
like, just to cruise. They're
Which
super-
shoes? Who?
Arc'teryx shoes. I was going to rock those a couple years ago. I went to go.
No.
You know what? I don't like buying shoes from companies that make,
Not
like
shoes.
Arc'teryx
Yeah.
is kind of like it's a Gore-Tex shell company.
I know what's funny about Gore-Tex is how much Gore-Tex has like entered the hype beast conversation.
It's
Hey,
Gorpcore.
yeah, I can't even get mad at it because it's like whatever, but just know that y'all are posers. Like all you boys out there with your
Am I
Gore-Tex
a
jacket.
poser with my Arc'teryx like raincoat or what?
Yeah, I am with
100%.
my hat, my Arc'teryx hat that I have on my head right now.
But it's
Fire,
funny
fire.
because
But
I gave you the
Donnie
keys.
got it for me. Though.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
I got Harley the Arc'teryx
Well,
hat
hold on.
because I had the black Arc'teryx hat and I bought Harley one because he liked it.
And you got it for me right before it became fully hype beast. So people that
Yeah.
were like,
Hold
getting
on, I don't
into it
want to
were
be.
like,
I don't
"Yo,
be
dog,
dragged into
sick
the hype
hat."
beast. I don't be dragged into. I've been buying Arc'teryx for years now. This is
You know what? Because
I had a discount
you
code
grew up
every
in
year.
Vancouver. Because you grew
Yes.
up in Vancouver, I'll give you a fucking carte blanche to wear as much
Okay.
Arc'teryx as you want.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I
that.
think that, and I mean,
Yeah, bro. This,
I think it's
this guy
legit.
won't let you wear a Lakers jersey to fucking Habs. No fucking.
dude, I'm gonna wear a Lakers jersey, and beat him at golf.
He's gonna wear
in
a
the
Lakers,
Lakers jersey.
Lakers
Yo, first of
jersey on
all-
the course. A
First of all-
Lakers jersey on the course
You're not allowed to. That's just
with
not allowed.
MJ golf shoes.
No,
Those you're allowed to
I'm gonna
wear.
get a custom.
Those
I'm
are
gonna
hard
get
to
like
get.
a custom tailored
You
fucking.
know, golf
Lakers
has entered
golf
its
shirt.
hype beast stage. In fact, golf's really entered the chat where people are fucking ready
Entered the chat.
to like, it's like had a whole transformation from the way you like the clothes you can buy and like the style around it, and like you can buy Jordan golf shoes in many numbers. You can get, I think you can get the 2s or the 3. You can get the cements. You can get the 11s. You can get all types of Jordans in golf cleats. It's pretty interesting where we've come now with golf. And I want to make one recommendation, and it's a blind recommendation.
Don't do Tren.
Yeah, don't do Tren. That's about
Don't
it.
do Tren with your twin.
No.
Unless you really mean it. And if you really mean it, then you better film it so I can watch.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
continue.
Yeah. No. You should watch the Netflix has dropped this. I know everyone's mad at Netflix right now.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Everyone's pissed. But they dropped a golf docuseries. Like they followed them around right to the point where they were a bunch of players defected.
Who's they? The people in
the producers, the filmmakers, the
they followed the golfers.
You know what they did with Drive to Survive, which was I think it's Drive to Survive, the Formula One. That thing exploded, right? They did like 3 seasons. Yeah,
it's what's hilarious is my girlfriend, who was like not at all into cars, not at all into racing, loves that fucking show
because it's
loves that show. And what's his name there? What's that Australian guy?
Everyone loves Ricardo.
Ricardo. Yeah, she loves that dude
for sure. But it's because those guys, because it's one of those things no one really watches in North America, at least no one I know really takes it in. But it's one of those sports that's so, it's just like you are being transported to this world you've never considered, and it's so high intensity.
It's elite. It's everything.
It's a whole other level, and it's just there's just so much going on that
I do like the engineering aspect of it.
Oh, how they
the way they make those engines, like it's
and they make the wrong when they fuck up, and it's like, oh no, well we fucked up this year, we're not
exactly, and how you have to like match the car to the driver sometimes, like it's
they change the rules, But those people are making a golf. They follow the PGA, and
boom.
In this time, there was a big, I don't know if you guys know about this, but a bunch of PGA players moved over to a new league,
to the Live
Golf, which is backed by the Saudi fund. And people were really up in arms. I mean, some big players,
and they were paying big money, right? They were paying like 10x PGA,
100 million guarantee.
Explain this cohesively, one shot to people that are listening. What's going on and what's wrong with everything here?
So the way that golf works, it's run by the PGA, right, in North America, and they have a monopoly. It's the biggest league out here for all guys to play. Now, golfers are very different than a team sport, where it's a collective bargaining. There's a union, the players are represented, it's run by, the sport. It's independent contractors, essentially. Everyone goes and plays. And yes, you can make a ton of money if you're like, I think it's like 150 guys on the tour. If you're a top guy, I mean, you make a ton of money. You kill it. You make so much money. But
top guy, top 10, top 20.
Yeah. Top 30 guys make
top
a ton.
30.
I mean, you do well, you got to win tournaments, but they don't all pay out. Like if you don't make the cut, and the way golf works is that it's 4 days. The first 2 days you play, and then there's a cut line. And if you don't make the cut, you leave, and basically, too bad, so sad event, essentially. And someone came in and basically started offering guaranteed money and trying to create a breakaway league, thinking that golf is ready for something new, something different. They changed it a bit. Only 3 days, not 4 day tournaments, but it was backed by the Saudi investment fund, which invests in a lot of places, but this became like they got like big players like Dustin Johnson, who's a top guy, I mean, Phil Mickelson, who's older, but is a very like popular golfer. And the rumored money they got paid, some of these guys was like $200 million guaranteed. On top of the purses were added, like the overall purses were like 25 million. Like they had crazy numbers. And so PGA,
they were playing to win the cash, but they had a guaranteed.
They had guarantees. They had more cash. They played less. They traveled less because the golf season's every week. And you do have to play for your money. It's not guaranteed. It's pretty tough to make it on tour. And also, this caused a huge sort of political conversation. Like it changed. People were getting up in arms, being like, "How dare you? How un-American?" This was a very divisive issue in like even between like generations. Like older generations.
Why is it un-American?
Because
I think accepting a $100 million deal, no matter what, fucking.
I think asking golfers to be like poli-sci majors and to like consider things outside of golf is probably like a stretch in my opinion.
Right? It's like it shouldn't be up to the. Well, I was going to say it should be up to the golfers. If it's not against any rule, then there's.
Well, no. The issue at hand is that there's also the four major tournaments, right? Like the Masters, the U.S. Open. They're governed by separate bodies, not the PGA. And there's all this stuff going on where, like, obviously the PGA doesn't want to lose players. Like they lost, like Cameron Smith, top guy, like young guy. I mean, they just.
How much you get paid?
The rumors are these guys are going to, like, the top guys get $100 to $200 million guaranteed.
It's a big difference between.
And they play less golf, and they get to and they travel less. And they don't, because it's all like a point system. I mean, I can go on for this for hours. It's
not that big of a difference, actually. 102 million and 200 million.
Kind of is.
No, if I was like, yo, tomorrow, I need you to be here at 8 a.m. and you were like, why? And I'm like, so I'm going to give you $100 million or $200 million. You'd be like, okay.
No,
nothing would be different. There wouldn't be a single difference in how you behave.
Right, but
how you
have
act,
these types of
how you feel. Your excitement, there would be, it's like literally you're like on the whole other level. You're like,
right. No, these things are like discussed in philosophy. Like the difference between going from $0 to $1 is much bigger than $1 to $2, even though it's the same jump. So you're right that 100 to 200 million is not a big jump philosophically. But if you're in business and someone's like, oh, I'll give you $100 million for this many shares. And then you're like, okay, well, actually it's 200 million. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. It's like, well, bro, that's double. That's another 100 million fucking dollars.
Fucking bro, do you know how many chairs I'm giving to you right now? Do you know how many chairs I'm giving to you? I
said shares, but okay.
Oh, shares? I thought you said chairs.
I'm like, it's a big chair business. I'm like going to open a stadium.
I was thinking, what a funny example. Chairs. I'm an idiot to not just piece it.
I'm at the chair factory and I'm selling chairs.
I literally should have just put it in my head. I should have just been like, oh, I heard chairs, but it's shares.
Maybe I said chairs. Maybe I said chairs. I don't know.
So what's interesting is this is our homework. I think I'm going to watch this. I feel like people in the audience, you guys should watch this because it is fascinating. Because I was pulling up the Saudi Arabia thing. I wanted to see if someone did call it un-American specifically because I did find that a fascinating word for it. Because it's just like, yo, that's so un-American. They're doing the money thing. We do the money thing.
So I was paraphrasing the sentiment and I used that term. I don't know if anyone said it specifically like that, but I was.
No, but I started reading some stuff just that like they were.
Oh, people were very upset.
Yeah, but players were like filing antitrust lawsuits against the PGA Tour last year.
This is a very big deal.
And yeah, so it goes deeper than I suspected. And I am looking forward to checking this out. Do you know what it's called? It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called
the golf thing, guys. You'll figure it out. But so I got a question for you guys. Actually, I want to hear from Donny. Donny, what's up?
Is this about catch up?
No. Are these UFOs being shot down? Like alien invaders? Alien observers?
Technically, they're UFOs, right?
Yeah, but I got specific after that because I knew you would do that.
They're definitely not alien invaders.
Oh, they're definitely not alien invaders. It's a UFO, but they're not alien invaders. That's funny. Why?
That is, well, they're by definition they're UFOs, but I don't think there's extraterrestrials.
I said alien, bro. What country they coming from? No, I'm just goofing around. I knew you wouldn't buy that.
Stop making about what you knew and let's talk.
But
about
I
what
knew
you
that
don't
about
know.
you. You didn't want it. You don't want it to be an alien, eh? You bitch.
I'd love it to be an alien. I don't think a fucking alien's going to show up in a helium balloon. Like, it doesn't seem to make much sense.
That's not it. That's not what it was. That was China, bro. That was a different thing.
Right. The other ones, we
never saw them. We never saw them.
Right, I heard
we couldn't recover the wreck.
The description I heard was a octagon with strings hanging from it and no discernible propulsion system.
Yeah, I read the no.
So this is like
system, which is weird.
It's but we take it like, oh, because it's using like some gravitate, or
Yeah.
it was just drifting. It was just
Yeah.
gliding. So the last, and admittedly, I didn't read deeply into this. I scrolled past a headline that said, they're not from a specific country. They were privately owned.
So why wouldn't they be able to recover it?
Man,
What?
I think trying to recover something on the ice in the Yukon is probably kind of tricky. There's no fucking roads. There's no anything out there. It's like
We could
deep, hard subarctic forest.
Why do you think they're telling
We
us
could put a
about
man. We could put a man on any single part of this planet's surface if we wanted. Anyway,
Well, not if that surface is not like stable.
but why do we even need to be stable? First of all, there was three things shot down.
Yeah,
So like, I just find, and I don't know,
I'm
Jack.
not
I'm
not hiding anything from you.
I
don't
want
know why
answers,
you're
bro.
coming at
You don't
me
have
with this.
answers for me? No, I actually like. I'm like saying it because it's so interesting to me. I don't know shit about the military recovery process. I could only think like a pro gamer, and I'm like, okay, like
Let's
you
just
shoot
say-
it
let's say
down.
this.
You shoot it down. You want to scavenge the loot after, so you
Yes.
you would
Yeah. You
if
want to
have
see
the
if there's duct
resources-
tape.
If there's
You want to see if there's
resources,
duct tape and springs in there.
if you send a gang to go shoot it down, I feel like, and you guys go pick that shit up when they shoot it down, right?
I'll tell you
Wouldn't
that,
you imagine, or we would
I
like
have been-
track, we would keep track, or even if we didn't know, you'd be able to mathematically triangulate where the thing fell.
Why do you think they're telling us about this? Why is this information even being made publicly available?
Because I don't think that there's as much conspiratorial, hiding of the information as people like to fucking think there is. There's so many people, there's so many things, and you can't even keep a secret between three buddies, but people think that there's like entire fucking movements dedicated to like lying to us and the mainstream media. It's like, oh, they're doing this as a pretense so they could attack, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, what you're watching is how fucking stupid we are and how hard it is to like figure out geopolitics and sovereignty and all these things that we're trying to like espouse. Like, it's difficult. Watch us struggle. That's
You don't
called
think it's
life.
like-
It's just a mysterious thing to the people. And when you look to the officials and they don't have a thing to say about it, or the answer is like, we're not going to recover it, aren't you like, that's so weird? Why would they not recover it? Of course they recovered it.
Well,
Well, then why
dude,
wouldn't they
you
tell
know,
us about it?
I'm not immune to the thinking. I remember when they were like, we killed bin Laden and we chucked him already. And don't worry, he's gone now. I was like, excuse me?
Like, you
Yeah,
didn't upload it to Facebook.
Yeah, you didn't something? I don't know. It just felt weird. They were like, hey, it's done. Trust me. I remember that. And not to say I don't believe it, but just at the time, I remember it feeling weird.
And they're like, don't worry, bro. Zero Dark 30 is going to be sick, bro. You'll love it.
Yeah, they were like, we scrubbed it.
But anyways, that's our homework also for this week is we're going to go fuck
To
these
find
aliens.
pieces of the UFO.
We're going to go nut in these aliens, boy.
I'm going to use an alien fleshlight. Keep that in.
I'm using alien finger. All right. Listen,
Shout
guys,
out.
thank you so much for listening to the Binge Eater podcast. Leave us a rating, a comment. You can check out the subreddit. You can head over to the youtube.com/epicmealtime for the video version if you were doing the audio. You should check out the audio as well if you were just doing the video. Throw us a rating or a review there. Tell your friends, check it out. Shout out to Lynch, holding it down. Donny Duckett's on the ones and twos. I'm the spouse. And I can't really talk about golf with you guys next week, as well as interesting stuff. Trust no one except us. Peace.